That is a lot of full mill value. Oh god. What is going on? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, we're nerfing raw points cards. Wait a second. Interesting. This is a strange number of value cards to nerf and not change Archespore. Okay, anyway, full list of changes. Hemdall. It's now possible to see which cards remain in your deck. Cool. Group cost of cards visible opening kegs. Good. Cards can be filtered by their type. Cool. Card set naming has been standardized, whatever that means. Left arrow should max number of kegs. Good. Lemons 8 to 10. Deploy, banish up to 3 cards in the enemy graveyard. Okay, whatever. Now it's just a tech card. A really, really hard to justify tech card. How do you ever get value on this? Like, if you're worried about Ghoul, okay? At 10, you could literally just, like, play a Yurden for one more provision. So it's not relevant at all for the Woodland deck. 3 isn't enough to be relevant against Bearmasters, which, I mean, that deck doesn't matter anyway. You no longer get value banishing Roach, because you're getting 9 for 10. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Oh, these all got nerfed. Just in terms of points. Kind of expect that. Siri nerfed, sure. Probably had to happen. Roach lost a point. Okay. Okay. Frenzy Dow from 7 to 6. I hope this comes alongside some changes with artifacts. Fuck. Man, I hope that when we get further down here. Regis got more expensive. That doesn't matter. Why? Epidemic costs 1 more. Okay. Dragon's Dream. Okay. Scorch got way more expensive. Okay. Raged Ifrit reach value removed. Now instead of being a strictly worse Kieranix. Actually, it's still a strictly worse Kieranix, right? Because it doesn't get the bonus with Unicorn. Now it's only a strictly worse Kieranix if Unicorn isn't in your deck. Okay. Bomb Heaver. I like this change. I like this change. This change is really nice. It makes the card a lot easier to justify playing. 6 provisions are just so much. But I mean, without Frenzy Dow being as relevant. This is probably like a net positive for artifact decks, honestly. Igni 20 or more. Okay, that's way easier to play around now. Siri dash after 5 turns. I like this change a lot. Now you have one more turn to maneuver around it. Where before, if you didn't pass immediately after Siri, the Siri was gonna go off. Because Siri draws on the same turn that you pass. Igni was too easy at 15. Maybe. Igni was too easy in some decks at 15. I had a lot of dead Ignis before. Like, how good this card is kind of a function of how much other control you're playing. You could say that if Eithne was able to play Igni before, Igni was probably too easy to trigger. But, like, I've tried to play Igni in, like, Reveal before, and I had a lot of bricked Ignis. Wolfsbane... Wait, what? They nerfed the provisions, too? Okay. Okay, Blaze got cheaper. Elfin Onion Soup got cheaper. Trial got cheaper. Margarita Bracket got cheaper. That's cool. It's relevant for exactly one deck, but it's kind of cool. Okay, Iris got cheaper. That's nice. Probably still not cheap enough to really justify. It's what, a 5 for 8? Iris's companions got buffed. Okay. Skellige Storm, recruit costs down. It's still worse than Lacerate, so who cares? Aridin, boost by 3, give it immune. Okay. Okay. Raucous Queen gets an extra mole. They nerfed Corinthier for whatever reason. Alpha Werewolf got a slight nerf. This nerf is so minor. This isn't even, like, really a point. It's fine. They nerfed Forktail's points and provision cost. Aw, man. The Forktail nerf is kind of a big deal. At least on the point side. It makes it harder to make it thrive things. Though I guess with Alpha Werewolf down to 4. It still thrives everything as long as you haven't thrived them previously. Shroud nerfed by 1. Okay. I don't think this changes anything. Ruin got nerfed. Yeah, okay, sure. So, they gave an extra mulligan. Man. It's a lot of provisions to lose, though. I don't know, maybe you don't have to play, like, World Decree anymore. Forktail's way too strong. I'd rather there just be more bronzes at that power level than them nerf Forktail, to be honest. And it feels like they're going in the other direction. Wild Hunt Warrior ability, deploy damage a unit by the number of Wild Hunt units you control. Okay. What? No! What the fuck? Okay. Never mind. Is this card even playable? I guess maybe they're changing a bunch of control cards, and this card would have gotten better. Okay. I mean, I guess people... I don't know. Wild Boar nerfed on 2 fronts. Okay. Okay, I mean, I guess it's in line with Hattori. I'm down with making this card unplayable. That's fine. Riddlerake. Isn't he still a 6 for 6 that has to live? Or we have to have, like, Bloodthirst 2 just to get 6 for 6? Final chance to run 1 day. No, there's no way this took them 1 day. There's a lot of stuff here. The sheer volume means it wasn't in just 1 day. King Foltest nerfed a mulligan. King Hensel buffed a mulligan. Rivian Pikeman for some reason got nerfed. Foltest Pride got nerfed. Why are we nerfing Stennis? What the fuck? Why are we nerfing Dance Sorceress? Okay, maybe they're changing like every Scoia'tael bronze. And just removal doesn't exist anymore. That's gotta be it, right? Okay. That hurts the Draug deck way more than a provision on Draug. Now you can't... I guess witches don't matter anymore. But now you can't line up 4s into 1s. It depends how many 4s there are. Sabrina's the worst last rate. Nah, because provisions went down to 6. And she does still give a body for Revenant to hit. But yeah, in general, she's the worst last rate. Odo, recruit cost changed from 10 to 9. Yeah, sure. Card was super overcosted. Trebuchet from 6 to 5. Cool. Reinforced Trebuchet from 6 to 5. Also cool. Whichever one of these is the engine. I think it's the reinforced one. This card's kind of interesting now. Okay, number of... They just don't want to have 4 mulligan leaders anymore. Okay. Knife Nay, sure, full charge, 4 charges total. Panther, crew cost change from 5 to 6. Okay. Bowman, power change. Okay. Milva got nerfed to point. Does anything kill Milva now that wouldn't have last time? 3 still survives Archospore. It still survives 2 Mangonel shots. Changing to ground. I thought I did that already. Did I not click update? Weathers. Oh, I guess if you like rag it, it'll die in 2 rather than die in 3. BME has a reach 1. Wait, what? Not nerfed to point or anything, just now it can only hit melee row, and they have to have 1 unit on melee row. Okay. This card was honestly questionable before. Why would you ever... They didn't even change the skirmisher. Skirmisher's condition is so much easier and the same number of points. Bomber power change from 3 to 2. So now it caps at 6 for 6. So there's no reason to play Bomber anymore. Riot Officer gets nerfed to Provision. Okay. Are you late? Not really. We're just going through the patch notes. Skags got a buff. Gabor got a buff. Eastern Grim got a buff. Volunteers got a buff. Half of Hunter no longer has Reach 1. Malena has Zeal. Oh, Malena's the thing that moves on cooldown too. Isn't Malena still like a 7 provision for a 4? Give all the credits for didn't cost us points. Yeah, this is kind of the exact direction I didn't want to see the game go in. I'm pretty disappointed. Morvaran, reveal a random card to opponent's deck, boost an ally by 2, charge 3. Oh, what? No. These abilities were so cool. Why? Like, since PTR, I was saying how cool the abilities on Morvaran, Eithne, and Unseen Elder were, as a way of giving an incentive to play into 3 rounds. His ability was RNG. I'm not even complaining about that part. I'm complaining that it's 3 charges instead of a refresh ability. The refresh abilities were so interesting. Emir, sure, whatever. Usurper, yeah, whatever. Slave Infantry got a nerf for some reason. Arbalist. Okay. Okay. Recruit costs more. Swears costs more. Cool. At least Fall Series cheaper, and Hefty Helga doesn't die to Wolfsbane anymore. Are you fucking kidding me? Are we getting refunded that? That wasn't intentional? The fuck? That was the reason the card was good. Oh, we have an exhaustive list of cards that wouldn't receive charges. Interesting. Did not listen to a thing people were saying? No, they listened to some things. Everyone just had so many different things to say. The problem is they listened to too much. Runner 2.0. I don't want to go that far. Maybe gameplay's fine. I don't know. It's a very different design direction than I would have liked to see them go. Files on Hounds can now recognize. Oh, cool. Ada Striga, Count Caldwell. Oh. Oh, shit. This card's playable now. Yo, guys. It's playable. You can splash Caldwell. I like most of the changes. I'd rather see bronzes be good than bronzes be bad, and it seems like they took the approach of nerfing all the good bronzes rather than buffing more bronzes up to like a reasonable power level. I feel like when bronzes are bad, the game becomes even more about either saving mulligans for round 3 or drawing your golds. I actually really like the spot stuff like Forktail was in, where you're rewarded for being able to build around certain bronzes. Like, very commonly you'd have a monster's hand that was full of bronzes and you were happy to keep it. Just because all your cards were still valuable. Whereas, like, in NR, not finding all of your gold is a huge problem. And that's kind of what I mean by I don't like the design direction they went. I said the game is going to direction where cards make low value. You don't like it too. It has to be the case. The nerfs are fine. I would just much prefer that not be the direction the game goes. Like, I don't mean they have to increase values across the board, but provision to points shouldn't be 1-to-1 across the entire board of cards. Like, an 8-for-8 is a lot better of a card than a 4-for-4 is. Simply because card efficiency still matters. Botching power reset. Nope. Whoa! Locker Room is doomed now. What does that matter for? It's not relevant for anything, is it? You're gonna give anything where it matters. K-Lock and Consume. Oh yeah, K-Lock, Ancient Foglet, and Arena. There we go. Expansions will undoubtedly lead to power creep, hence the current power levels. But it's not... It's not the power level across the board that I have a problem with. It's particularly the power level among bronze cards. Like, if there's power creep, we'd expect there to be power creep across the board. Milva no longer sees a boost if opponent plays elf units from Blue Dream. Cool. Okay, Milva doesn't buff from artifacts anymore. Wait, Pacquiao couldn't target allies? Oh. I guess I lost that arena game for not playing a Rot Tosser. Oops. What faction? Who knows? There are a bunch of changes. Witches plus Roach playable. I would lean towards maybe. I feel like the answer is probably yes, but I'm not 100%. They're still the only way to get thinning. It's certainly a lot less valuable to try to save them for round 3. Like, I think the cards are a lot less interesting now than they were before. Series dead now? No, definitely not. Regular Siri definitely got a lot worse, but Siri Dash is still playable for sure. Man. At least they changed Ithne? Yeah, sure. What do I think about this patch? I look depressed. I'm a little disappointed. I don't know, we'll see how it plays. I have a feeling like no actual problems were solved with this though. Yavin no longer counts himself. Wait, what about the other ones that count himself? What about all of the other Scoia'tael dudes? They count allies but don't count themselves. Or but previously counted themselves. Because Barclay counted himself, right? Zoltan counted himself. Do they still count themselves? Can I start the game already? No, I'm reading patch notes. I can probably update though. Okay, good. None of this stuff matters. None of this stuff matters. Localization fixes. Oh, yeah. Simro and Harpy Egg. All copies. They changed this in hotfix. This has been fixed. Okay, they fixed diplomacy. Fixed scout. Now brand says other. How many artifacts were changed? What did they even change to Thunderbolt? No idea. Oh, I can't even load up Gwent yet. What I'd like to see in this patch instead. Rather than nerfing all the bronzes, I'd like to see bronzes in other factions getting buffed. Like, they kind of did that a little bit here, but I mean, this is pretty inconsequential. The engine trebuchet, the one that's range locked and hits the range throw. If that's one of these, that's playable now for sure. But I mean, aside from that, was it nerfed and soft removal doesn't touch at all? Yeah, it was. Every Square card got nerfed. We thought the other bronzes the patch would have taken longer to make. Not really. They spent all this time nerfing all these other bronzes. I think the game's better off when bronzes are good, too. So it's not even just about time, it's about quality of gameplay. Like, I'd rather play a game where bronzes are better than a game where bronzes are bad. When bronzes are bad, the game feels a lot more about being able to mulligan your bronzes so you don't have to play them. And you just play as many golds as possible, as many of your high power cards as possible. I think that's way less interesting than like trying to build your deck to maximize the value of your cheaper cards. Destroyed the game again? No, I don't think they destroyed the game again. I just don't think they solved any of the actual problems that existed. Granted, I didn't expect them to either, so there's that. What are the problems? Watch Freddy's video. I agree with pretty much everything he identified as a problem. Let me see. Let me get a link to that. I don't agree with necessarily everything, but basically everything. I don't agree with his solutions, but I agree with his identification of the problems. Why did they nerf Lippy? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't think it needed to happen. They nerfed fucking Savage Bear, man. Fucking Savage Bear. Also, they nerfed Queen's Guard, by the way. December update is live. Wait, why didn't it update for me then? Oh, it's updating. Okay. Nilfgaard's a dead faction. Oh man, as much as that sounds like an overreaction, fuck. Maybe. I mean, they still have Magna Division. God, Morvran was the only good thing about Nilfgaard. What are the worst changes? I think the single worst change is removing the every round ability for Morvran. Not to say they didn't need to change Morvran to some extent, but like just changing him into a 3-charge leader kind of ruins the what was interesting about him before. They nerfed Nilfgaard instead of Skoya? No, they nerfed Skoya too. They didn't change Sheer at all though, did they? No, Sheer's the same. Interesting. Like every good Skoya bronze got hit by at least a provision. Honestly, not this strong card needs to be nerfed. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it works out in the context where all this other good stuff got nerfed too. Didn't mention Hemdall ability? I don't think so, no. 3 Witches playable, Roach. I'm not entirely sure. At the very least, if they're playable, they're kind of boring now. Because there's no reason to save Witches for round 3. No, they just cost like an average gold. If you're playing Witchers, you're only playing them for thinning. Jailer in 3 for 5. I mean... that's probably where it should be, to be completely honest with you. When you RNG into Jailer and Soldier, that card was disgusting. Though now, like, you're probably losing the Clash when you reveal it, and you're really just getting thinning value. And it's not a card that you really want to have to mulligan. I don't know. I don't think it was very good before. All things considered. And, well, I certainly wouldn't play it now. The change in Witchers, they all lost a point. Why was Roach nerfed? It was a little more efficient than it should have been. I'm surprised it didn't just bump its provisions back up to 10, though. It was good there. Which is still auto-include? I really hope not, because they're really boring now. There's no reason not. They're less tempo, and the tempo is a big deal. You can't use them as a finisher anymore, or at least they're not as good as a finisher anymore. I don't know, I think Witchers are like the perfect example of a card that is more interesting the better they are. When you're only playing them for thinning value, there's no reason to not just jam them in round 1. But when they're worth a lot of tempo, there's justification to forgo the thinning value and get the points in round 3 where they're more valuable. And that decision around Witchers was kind of why I didn't think they should be changed. Or at least I thought the game would have been fine if they weren't changed. Like, I thought Witches were very interesting before. Now if they're still auto-include, man. Play the fucking game before giving the final verdict. It literally just finished updating. I couldn't.